Invocation, evocation. What's the difference? If you're interested, carry on watching. Invoking and evoking. There is a difference. Sometimes you will hear people say, I want to invoke the Great Mother. I want to invoke her. Or you might hear people say, I, in this circle today, want to evoke a presence or a spirit or a deity or whatever it is you're thinking about into my practice or into my circle. There is a difference between them, guys, and the reason for that is, and it's in the word really, to invoke is to bring something within you. It's invoking into yourself. To evoke is to bring something in, but not into you, into the area that you're around, but not actually taking your spirit, your essence, not coming into you. So at the end of the day, when we are writing an invocation or an evocation, we need to make sure we're saying the right things. When you look at, and I did this before, but when you look at some of the beautiful written invocations, they talk about the person that they want, or the deity they want to come into them. So a bit like when you invite a friend to tea, you would say, Mark or John or Hillary or whoever, I know you, you're my friend, you do things for me which are wonderful, and because of that I want you to come and be in my party today. I want you to join with me. So the invocation on that would be different, because you're not going to ask them to physically come within you. That would be left for spirit, for something unseen but felt. The words need a body to be able to vocalize, or they need your eyes to see, ears to hear. They are spirit. They need a body and a substance to become. So when you invoke that into you, you are opening yourself up for something to invade you. Are you ready for that, guys? It is normally safer to evoke, like I was saying about the friend. You evoke them to come to your party or tea at your house. You say to them, I know you and I'd like you to come, but there are barriers. You will sit at my table and we will talk, but we will have that barrier between us. Whereas with the invocation, you are inviting an unseen force that you don't really know, you've only read about or heard about. They will then come into you physically. And some people, when this happens, they will blank out and not know exactly what's taken place. And it can be very serious. Now, when this is done within the coven setting, you have an abundance of people around you, and you have the safety mechanisms, keys that are put in place to keep you safe. So you have that to really look up to. It's a training which teaches you how to deal with it. You will also find that there are mediums that will accept the physical presence of the spirit within their bodies. And for many, it happens in different ways. For me, when I was in coven, when the Great Mother come upon me, I felt it firstly at the back of my neck, and then you feel this abundance of energy, and it's almost like you release yourself. And once that happens, you feel different. You feel totally not yourself. Some are still present at the time of the energy. It depends how strong that energy is, or that deity or spirit. Some that are very strong will come in and you will not know what's happened. Others will share and they'll be kind to you. They will let you know what's happening. So there are different forms of invocation, but it all starts with that prayer or those words. It's wise that if you're going to invoke, you know about that deity or that spirit, that you do your research and understand through past attempts in other people just how it might affect you, because it's not good to evoke or invoke something you don't know. So when you're in the coven, you are taught about this person, you do your research, you learn about it, you watch, you take on board exactly what they are before you even attempt to do the invocation. Because when you're in the coven setting, it works very quickly and it's very strong. Some people don't get anything. It's like they stop it from happening, they put a blockage up, but other people are very open to it. And so there are ways of doing this, and the first step, and I will show you how, we will start with the invocation, and that is, as I just said, letting spirit or deity within you. So you need keys, what we call keys, safety keys. Keys unlock and they lock. They're a key that will sustain you. If there's something not right, you lock the door. If it's okay, you unlock the door. And that is to do with all within you. You are made up of many parts. And so we look to the chakra system. And this is how I manage it. If you know about the chakra system, guys, it's the best way, I think, of opening up. So we do that opening up. I like to open with the crown chakra first, and that can be visualized as white energy filling your head. So you get yourself first into that state of mind where you're going to feel open. So you're thinking to yourself, I want to open. There's many ways you can do it, guys. I mean, in the coven we would use the golden cross within our stomachs and bring it out, and that would protect and give off this opening. But I truly do feel that with the chakra system, it's quicker and easier for a lot of people to do. So as I said, we'll start off with the crown chakra. The crown being the top of your head, the crown of all, the crown of what's available to you spiritually, physically, mentally, and abilities. So visualize a white energy building up and swirling in the top of your head, and just try to think what it feels like. Try to see it as, like, some people see it like a fog or a wispy air going round and round. I like to visualize it like a big mass of, like a cloud, and it gets brighter and bigger. You see that in your head. And then you come down to just between the eyes, the third eye, and visualize that in a beautiful colour of indigo or purple, because that's the colour that is your third eye, and it comes from within the centre of your mind. See it vibrate, or visualize between the eyes an actual eye opening. It's easier for some people to visualize it as an eye, and other people as just something that's swirling. You might feel a sensation, guys. You know, sometimes people do, some people don't. But if you do, don't worry. Even headaches, you can get like a pain. It's as if you're wrenching open something, not meaning to hurt yourself, but it can feel that way. So once that one's opened, you then visualise your throat area. Now the throat can be very closed off, because in today's world we like to hold on to what we want to say rather than speak out. So you might find you get an ache in the throat. See that as a beautiful blue colour and feel it. I like to feel it like wings opening. Feel it like somebody's opening their wings like an angel, and as they open it up you see that beautiful blue colour. Now you come down to the heart chakra. Many can see that in either pink or green or both colours, and again I like to feel that like it's pumping like a heart, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and these colours are vibrant. Then we must come down to the solar plexus, which is around the belly button area, and that is a gorgeous bright yellow, wonderful colour, yellow. And you might feel a fluttering within your tummy area, and that is because it's the solar plexus and it is full of feeling. It's the sensual area, the feeling, the spiritual, it's everything. And that's where the spiritual umbilical cord comes from as well. So when you open that up, guys, you're going to really feel it. And it is going to be the largest apart from the crown. So once that's opened, you then come down to between the bottom area and the solar plexus. And that is orange, and that is the sacral chakra. And that has a lot of feeling too, because that brings in to you and your area of opening the sexual side of you. So it could mean whether you're male, female, or vice versa. You may get feelings coming from that. You might get thoughts coming from that. But what you're trying to do is open up. You're opening yourself so that spirit or deity that you invoke can come into you. You're being honest and open, but you're also doing it willingly. So again, we're back to the orange colour, and it's vibrant. Now after you've opened that, and of course there's different ways of opening that one. I like to see it going like a pendulum sometimes. But you go with your gut instinct, you go with how you feel, how it feels to you, how you see it. So the last one would be underneath the root chakra, and that's right underneath the body as such. Imagine a pole going up the middle of your body. It would be the point of where the pole would go in. So that is like a red colour, and that is your roots, that is your base chakra. And so we open that up by feeling it almost like opening up. Imagine a trap door. That's what I like to do. I imagine it just sort of parting and opening, like two doors opening. And that is when you are open. Now it might take a while to get used to doing it that way. There's that way, and then there's the other way, which is, as I was speaking earlier, in the coven we would visualise a small equal-armed cross, and it would be gold in colour, and we would see it from a speck, from the centre of our being, and we'd see it grow and grow, and as it grows you see it expand until it grows, till it's outside your body, and the gold is so bright that you have opened up you can make your choice. There's also the Wheels of Magan, which is the Nordic witchcraft central points, and there are not as many, and they are different colours, but it is all the same principle, guys. At the end of the day, what you're doing is opening up your energy field so that you can receive. And that's what mediums do when they receive spirit message. That's what I do when I want to really contact something or get the message through really strongly. With practice, you can do it really quickly. So it's like bang, 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 and it's all done. So that is the first step. You need to be in the right receiving manner. Then you need to have your invocation already written, or one that you're going to use that you've gone over and you've really looked into before doing it. So, for example, now I have one for Odin. Let's have a look at Odin's one. Okay. With this invocation, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to read it to you so that you can understand it. Hail Odin. So we're saying hello to them, because when you meet somebody you always say hello, don't you? So you're saying hail Odin. You've got the name. You say Lord of Asgard. So you're going to work through all the good points of the things that you feel that they are to you. So I've got on this one, Lord of Asgard, warrior and wanderer, valiant and wise, you to whom all the gods of Asgard look up to. Now those statements are saying, this is what I know that you are. This is what I've read about you and I felt about you and what people have told me about you. I'm saying then, Sky Father on the 8-legged steed, you who traded an eye for wisdom. Again, you're saying not only who they are, but what they've attained, what they are able to do, and ruled a turbulent realm. Now we know, if we read about Odin, at some point he was chucked out of Asgard and he didn't come back for 10 years. So we can see that there's a little bit of discrepancies, and there's also room for thought. So we know that something went amiss for that to happen, but we can still trust him to as much as we feel we can. Then we go on to give us the wisdom to accept the twists and turns of fate, even as you surrender yourself to the mercies of the Norns. So he's in the same position that we are, basically. And so you know that if he's in the same position and we are, that we can be okay with each other, if that makes sense. So then it says, protect us, all Father. Lead us through the wilderness. Protect us, all Father, from what harm may come to us. Lead us through the wilderness to bring us home safe and sound. I think I got most of this from the Book of Hours, so if you want to look that up online, you can. And the reason I've read this out, guys, is obviously I can't retain everything in my brain, and it's a long time since I've done this particular invocation. But as you can see, it's in parts. I wanted to bring to your attention about how it's in stages. So firstly, you're saying, I know of you, I know your name, I know what you are, the things that you are, and I'm asking you as that person. I then know the things that you've done and the ones that you've done to, the things and the people and the other creatures that have been involved in it. I then go down to the next part, which is saying how much they are under the same rules and regulations that we are, that they're not always in control. And then the fourth part is asking for them to come and be within, to come and protect us and get us home safe. So you're making an invocation about that God, but of course at the end is where you're going to put your part in, because not only are you going to do all that, right at the end you're going to ask them to come to you. So you say, "Hail Odin, after all those things that have been spoken, Odin, we seek you this day. I seek you, my God, to come into me this day. Be within me in my life and be within me in my ritual now. I seek your presence within me. I ask you to come now. Come, Father, come, all that I've seeked and found. Come and be within me today. Hail and welcome." And then you stand there, guys, and you open your arms in acceptance and lift your head to the sky. Part your legs for stability and just wait. Just wait. You will feel, firstly, tingling within your hands, and you might start to feel like you are, it's almost like a tingle from the back, and I'm getting it right now. It's like an energy comes behind you and you can feel it, and it feels warm and it feels close. Do not get frightened at this moment, because they're doing exactly what you've asked them to do, and that is to be with you, to be within you. Now I'm going to say, because I can feel this really strongly, Odin, Hal, I thank you for your time and I bid you hail and farewell. Thank you. Step back now in the name of the All-Father. I give you thanks and homage. Step back from me now, I seek. Thank you. Hail and farewell. You see how when you are used to doing it, it is easy to bring that energy. And that is what I'm trying to get across to you today. Invoking is about bringing that energy into your body, into your mind, into your spirit, your very souls. So when you've opened it up like that, you are open to that energy. There's not anything that's going to stop it. If you seek it, it will find you. Okay, so you need to make sure you're protected. So that would be your invocation. Now, evoking is a totally different thing. When you're evoking, guys, say you're going to be doing Odin again, you would talk to him and ask him to come into the situation that you are dealing with, that you want help with. So say, for example, you're doing a spell for somebody, which is a very strong spell. You need that extra energy. You could then say, "Hail Odin, in this prayer today I ask of you to come be here, to aid me in what I am doing. For the person in need needs your energy this day. I seek and come before you and evoke your energy this day. Not to overpower, not to overpresent, but to give just enough of your wisdom and your peace, but your warlike energy too, the one that will aid this person through and through. Bring it through with the air of love, but also your particular dove. Bring that dove, bring that bird, send that energy and make it absurd. bring that energy I ask you this day, but keep yourself a little bit away, just enough to help us today. Hail Odin, hail today. Hail and farewell, God of my heart, God that I love. And as you can see, guys, it will flow. Words will come to you. But evoking is totally different to invoking. And as I said to you, if you're open, like you should be open when you're doing any spell work. But evoking can be used in many ways. It can be used, as I said, for spell work. It can be used in ritual for other things as well. It's basically asking, like you would ask a friend to come and stand by your side and be on the same page as such when you're doing stuff. So, for example, you might just want them to be with you in your ritual that night. So you will ask them to be with you in the casting of the circle. So, for example, you would say, you would stand in the east and you would start there. And you would go round the circle and you would say, "O thou circle, be thou a meeting place of love, joy, truth, a shield against all wickedness and evil, a rampart and a protection for all who stand herein. Wherefore do I bless thee and consecrate thee in the mighty names." And this is where you will bring them in, of whatever god or goddess that you're calling. You then say, open the doors that the god or the goddess or both will enter herein. You're not saying, come into my body. You're saying, come into my space. You're invited, but keep away from me. Just be with me and help me and aid me in what we will be doing that day. And there you go, guys. That is the difference between invocation and evocation. And if you've got any questions, please leave them below and I will always get back to you. Of course, now you've opened up, you need to shut. There are also ways before we shut down. When you're open to all the gifts of the spirit. You're open to earth, air, fire, water and spirit. So you're open to the energies of writing and making things. You've got it all at your fingertips. So writing your own invocations and evocations are brilliant. I always remember when I was training in the coven, I used to write a lot of different little spells and make them rhyme, and it was great. I mean, the ones for like the moon cycles and the different aspects. It comes alive when you write these things down. So you always have a grimoire or a book, a notebook, and write the things down. You'll never ever be without them then. You can just flick through. Whatever the time of the year or the season or celebration, you will always have them to hand. And all you've got to do before you do the circle or whatever it is you're going to do is to memorize that particular invocation and then let it come from your heart. But if you're invoking, make sure you keep yourself safe. And if you're evoking, again, keep yourself safe, but you know that they come to aid you in what it is you're doing that day. So now we need to close our chakras because you can't leave them open, guys. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can interfere and you don't want that. So we're going to think about the last one, and that was the bottom chakra, which is the root chakra, and that is red in colour. And you're going to see that because that was like a door, two little doors, like trap doors. Just see them closing and see the colour shrinking till it's a pinprick. And when you've got that in your eye, in your mind, you go up to the sacral chakra, which was a beautiful colour orange. And you're just going to see that shrink till it's the size of a pinprick. And then you come up to the solar plexus, which is turning like a whirlwind in beautiful, beautiful yellow. And you're going to see that start to shrink and go within you till it's a little bit bigger than the other pinpricks, but still very small, like a little bud. Come up to your heart chakra. You're seeing the twirling colours of green and pink and pumping like the heart itself. Start to see it calm down. Start to see the colours go into a small little pinprick. Come up to the throat and see it coming across and shrinking into that little pinprick. To the third eye, you can visualise the eye shutting or going again into a very small pinprick. Then you go to the crown chakra. Now you're going to see that lift off of your head and disintegrate, sort of just merge into nothing and leaving a very small pinprick. Now what I also like to do, guys, is imagine a trapdoor. You're going to bolt it, and that stops anything getting into you or interfering with anything around you. And you're closed for business then. There's nothing that can harm you. And then go and make sure you eat and drink. I know I always say this, but it is very important. You need to eat and drink. So I hope that's helped some of you. And I want to now thank new subscribers. You're very welcome to the channel. Hope you get what you're looking for, and I really do appreciate you. Thank you. Those that are always here supporting the channel and myself, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, for without you guys it wouldn't be worthwhile. And I'm going to leave it there. Wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Verlang.